All opinions are those of the participants making them and are not an endorsement of any position, program, religion, or political affiliation. DFG's Corner is for information, observation, and entertainment. I ask that you comment, like, share, and subscribe.
I would say happy bad choice day to you because
And I can't stand that.
you made that man a father, even though you probably knew he wasn't about nothing from the beginning. But besides that, we don't look at it. We kind of it gets tiresome when women don't give men that are trying. Now if he's a piece of crap, he a piece of crap. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. But if a man's doing what he's supposed to do, and you talking about man ain't crap. No, the man you chose to be your child's father is a piece of crap. Don't put that on all men. And we're not perfect, but hey, we try. Miss Kim, you used to talk about your father a lot. Tell us about your dad.
Um, well, my dad was a hard worker. Raised 9 kids with me being the baby. My dad, wow, what can I say? Um, he was a big family man. He was a church goer. He sang in the choir. He was on the trustee board. He owned his own business. He raised his son to be able to carry on the business after he passed on. Um, he was hands on. Um, what he did for one, he did for all. He was a man that always believed in helping his kids. Um, Excuse me, I am tired. I just lost my train of thought. I'm exhausted today, y'all. I'm moving. Um, he was always there for, my mom, his wife. Dad would, my mom would, I remember she always made the grocery list on Thursday and laid it on top of the TV. Friday morning, Daddy would pick up the list after he would finish working, collected all the pay, paid his workers, and then he went and bought groceries. Now I would have to be the one to bring the grocery in, which I hated. But on Saturday morning, my mom did not have to work. He provided everything. My mom was able to get a new car every 3 years. He would leave money on the table. My mom loved my dad so much to the point that, she appreciated him so much that she would iron his boxers, his handkerchief. So he was a very big pillar of the community because a lot of people where I'm from actually had their houses, um, the plumbing and electrician done by my dad. So yeah, he was a man's man. I could say I'll say that. I miss my dad a lot because I could always call my dad. He was very laid back, calm man. But when you made him mad, he showed up. So yeah, that was my dad.
That's wonderful. That's definitely wonderful. Uh, we got. I seen Bean has come up. What's going on, Miss Bean? Holla at your boy.
Oh, hi y'all. As y'all know, I'm getting off of work.
All opinions are
Don't know
those
what
of the
the
participants
subject
making them
is,
and
but
are
I see
not
a
an
picture of my
endorsement of any
dad.
position, program,
So,
religion,
yay.
or political affiliation.
Something like that. Yeah, we
DFG's Corner
talking
is for
we talking about
information,
fathers,
observation, and entertainment. I
and
ask that you comment, like, share, and
how especially
subscribe.
black fathers be getting a bad rap. And I was just saying, I started off the show talking about our father, and you know, the good, the bad, and but you know, like I said, he was
Well,
always there for us.
yeah, that's one thing I could because he passed when I was 9. I only have a certain amount of memories about him. And I have certain memories with him, but I learned a lot about my dad through my siblings, my cousins, and my aunts. So, like the boys had a different relationship with him than the girls did, because my younger brother is telling me all these things that he remember, and I'm like, where was I was usually up my dad's behind. So where was I with all of this?
You was with
You
T.
know, so I know, well,
A lot of
I
your
know
memories
that
is
he
with
was
T.
always there
But
with our
dad was
stepfather
always
too.
there, but
But
a lot of your memories with T.
yeah, and yeah, but I know he was always there, and I know he's the one who taught me how to do hair, and he's the one, who taught me how to spit. He taught me how to run fast. That was my dad. I was a tomboy, so I went I what's the word I'm looking for? I was more closer to him and my stepfather, and things like my godfather and aunt and my older brother. I was like always trying to be around them, but I was the baby sister, so I was just the bug and the nag. But like I said, I'm grateful for my brothers and my sister. Well, my brothers being so much older that they actually could tell me how my dad was. I didn't I've seen him upset, but I've never seen him to where my brothers and my sister and my older sister and my brothers know about his temper, because I've heard some stories about my father's temper. So, and I'm like, is that where I get my switch from? Because I go from sweet as pie to I'll scorch earth and take us all out. So, I was wondering where I got that from.
And the thing is, being is that your father what did have a temper. He was a buck 05 though, so you know I think it might have been Chihuahua complex.
Oh wow.
But
Thank you.
one thing I do remember with you was I remember him putting hot sauce on your thumb because
And
you
it didn't
to
work.
suck your thumb, and that's why you liked hot sauce. It was like he was he had some ways about him, but you know he was doing it out of love, and he's doing it the best he knew how.
Hmm.
He didn't graduate from high school. He worked until he couldn't work, but and as Chocolate Pearl used to say back in the day, he was a hustler. He sold everything. And that if you met his brothers, if you met our uncles was pretty much the same. They all had
We're
that,
hustlers.
yeah, they all had that hustler mentality.
And he
But
fixed anything. He used to be the unofficial handyman of the projects.
yeah, definitely had zero license, but was driving us everywhere.
Yep.
But you know, it's they don't make men like that no more, in my opinion. And I'm a man, and I'm saying this. They don't make men like that anymore. Flawed men, but they always took care of what they needed to take care of. DJ Dabs, I know you're out there. How was the relationship with you and your dad?
Hey, what's happening? My relationship with my dad, it was actually very good. We had pretty good sized family as well. My dad had 8 kids of his own, and one stepdaughter that's was older. She was out of the house because I was an uncle before I was born, so she wasn't pretty much there. But my dad was a very strong man, very kind person. Um, Gunny Sergeant from Marine Corps. Rah. He know how to put it down when he needed to. So, we're a pretty good group of kids. We was behave. He made sure we stayed that way. Um, kind of like him. My dad was gone a lot, but mostly because of the military. We traveled or like summer. We traveled back and forth between California and Washington most of the time. Lived in Camp Pendleton, lived in Camp Lejeune. So he was around back and forth. We moved around a lot. But I could remember, a lot of the stuff, well, a lot because I have videos, but a lot of.
Thanks for watching. This is the man with the golden voice, the lady's choice, and of course, smooth as a Rolls Royce, saying, never make love by the garden gate, though love is blind, the neighbor's ain't.